to my new series. This series is very different again. And so this series will be about my stories. My stories in Unturned. Or mainly about Unturned. Throughout those years that I've played this game, and to be exactly honest with you, it's been 80 years since I've started to play this game. I've lost a lot of accounts, and by a lot I just mean like 2. And I've only played on those accounts Unturned on daily basis, and so I have a decent knowledge about this game, even though I have epilepsy and occasionally forget stuff, but this game will stuck with me permanently. So, you are here to listen to my stories, right? Because you've clicked this and you are curious. And so, today I will be talking about one server that I've played on quite a lot during the year 2020. We all know what happened. And this server, right? In this server was really great. And obviously I'm talking about Phoenix Roleplay, in case I didn't mention the name. So, Phoenix Roleplay, I think it was like founded by Sprinkles, who was a server owner, and still is. He still has an active Discord, and there was also a manager called the Blue Plague, or something like that. I can't remember, but it had blue in it and plague as well, and the profile picture of a plague doctor. And so this server, right, the first map they had was Washington map. Obviously it was a custom map. It was a roleplay, obviously, so like you didn't have like holes in the roads and other vehicles that are stuck permanently in the ground and stuff like that. That was a great map actually. And they switched to Hawaii, which is what I'm currently at right now. And they've changed quite a lot about Hawaii. They've changed it into roleplay. And the main thing I remember, right, is mainly this donut store. Like I used to have like when I was roleplaying as a SWAT, you know, I used to have a store, which is exactly this one. It's not what you think. You think that I was selling donuts? Nope. It was a therapy session. And so, there's actually a guy who made a video about Phoenix Roleplay and put some moments in there. And I'm pretty sure, I will put the video link in the description after I find it, because I forgot how the video was called. So this is what I remember the most. It was this donut store. And I've renamed it, you know, and so I don't know how much I've paid for it exactly. And so, I've put a sign over there, like over here somewhere. And it was like something about therapy sessions and stuff like that, and some advices as well. That's what I remember the most. That was great actually, like 10 out of 10. And what I remember as well is mainly when there was this junkyard, okay? Yeah, Wacola, by the way, this was the main city. You spawned here, you spawned like just outside of this bistro or fast food thing, you know. There was like a building instead of this palm tree. There was a building over here, as I remember, like over here. You spawned here, you went out of the building, and there were like signs, you know, and roleplay signs, you know, like respect the rules and stuff like that. The rest was, however, the same, as well as for the hospital. And there were other things changed as well. So, for example, the junkyard. The junkyard turned itself into a mine where you could mine ores. And so I remember how I always drove my car, mainly the police car, through here, here, and here, and then there you go, you got here. That's what I remember. That was great. Those were great memories, actually. And I'm pretty sure they've also put like NPCs somewhere, like a drug dealer and Bitcoin miner. Yeah, the server was very heavily modded and it was great. And so, you know, as I said, I've made a therapist store. And what I liked mainly was the fact that I was helping people. It made me feel like great, like I'm doing actually something. It was in fact so great that I'm still doing it today, but on Instagram and not in any sort of game, because I love to help people, and it inspired me mainly. So, to give you also, I think I forgot to talk about the context of Phoenix Roleplay. So Phoenix Roleplay, obviously, server owner was Sprinkles and manager was the Blue Plague. They had a lot of mods, and when you joined the server, right, you could fill an application. Like you could make an application, and you could join the police, SWAT, or paramedics. And the server had a lot of plugins as well. Like most of those plugins were like very great and useful. Like for example, when you go down, you know, you couldn't get up and stuff like that. And so you could be like dragged by the police like this, or just like by this. No wait, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. You could be dragged like this, you know, to the police if you did something, and revived by the police or by civilians, but they changed it. So civilians and police couldn't revive people, but actually the paramedics, so they would be useful. That was great. And so, before I will end this, I want to also talk about my experience as being a police or SWAT actually. The community manager, the Blue Plague, he was a SWAT leader. And we had like a base over here at the Ilika base, you know. We had a base there, you know. It was also modified a little bit, you know, like police station and stuff like that. And the paycheck, if I remember, well, not a paycheck, but in-game currency that you would receive, you know, experience. And it was like 750 per hour or so when you were SWAT, and 500 when you were a police, if I remember. And what I remember the most, like I used to have this house over here. This house over here, that's what I remember the most when I bought it. And I also had an apartment on top of the building over here. And I did like Bitcoin mining, like, you know, using mods to do Bitcoin mining in there. Like they added Bitcoin and other stuff like drugs and stuff like that, you know, you name it. And I also had this house over here. And when you wanted to raid a house, you needed a warrant, and it needed to be approved by the community manager, the Blue Plague, because he was the SWAT leader. And there, like, a lot of people chose also these buildings as their weapon store. Even a gas station as a grocery store. That was hilarious. I remember it. Like, I remember a lot of stuff. And if I would have to talk about this server, I think it would take more than an hour. But to say it to you simply, the server was great. Like 10 out of 10, I wouldn't change it, except for the fact that your stuff could be dropped after you die, which was awful. And there was a lot of KOS as well, but it was okay. Personally, I wouldn't change it. If the server will make one day a return, I would definitely start playing on it again and perhaps even review it, but I don't know. So yeah, I'm getting close to the 10-minute mark, so I will leave the Discord link in the description as well as my Discord, and as always, don't forget to eat some parsley. And yes, I will leave this unedited. goodbye and have a good day.